AJ Menendez here, again, tucked and untaped. And once again, it doesn't matter for this. I have gotten a lot of positive responses over the last few videos that I made. And I've had a lot of up-and-coming entertainers contact me with questions and questions and questions. So the way I see it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And as long as you keep asking, I'm going to keep making these. Please understand that I don't have all the answers. Everything that I know, I've learned from other entertainers over the years. So if you have a question or something that I don't have the answer to, know that I will put you in contact with somebody who can answer your questions. That being said, it is pageant season, which in the wonderful world of drag means that for those of us who are going to compete, everybody goes batshit crazy. Present company included. So that's what this tape is about. This tape is going to be about pageants and sponsorship and what sponsorship means and all that good shit like that there. I'm going to start with sponsorship because it's not going to take me as long. Okay, there are a lot of entertainers who assume when they have sponsors, especially when they have a lot of sponsors, that it is the sponsor's responsibility to provide them with whatever they need for this competition. They're wrong and have been sadly misinformed. So I'm going to break it down to you. Anybody can be a sponsor, for one, and they don't necessarily have to provide money. They can help you out with costuming. They can pay your entrance fee. They can provide you with something else that you need for your package. You know, a sponsor just isn't always the one that's just going to hand you money. And if they have the means to do it, great. But what I'm saying is, don't forget the little people. Don't forget all the other people who have helped you along your way. Anybody who has helped you with your package should be considered a sponsor. And that is, again, that's what I was taught, and that's what I firmly believe. In one of my competitions last year, I was in the midst of stoning something, and I had glued 4,000 stones on one outfit. And I was coming to the end, and I didn't quite have enough, if you can believe that. And one of the people that were sponsoring me mailed me stones from their own stash, and so that I could finish it. So don't assume that sponsors are always all about money. When somebody agrees to sponsor you, don't hound them and constantly be on the phone saying, well, you said you were going to do this, and you said you were going to do that, and you said that you were going to do this. Nothing drives a sponsor crazy, and nothing will make them back out quicker. You know, if they have said that they were going to sponsor you, have enough faith that they're going to do just that. Understand you always need a backup plan, though, because shit happens in life. You know, they may mean it when they say it, and then something in their own lives could happen, and they're not going to be able to come through with whatever it is that they said they were going to come through with. So always have a backup plan. You have to put in your own blood, sweat, and tears. It's not just going to be handed to you. And if that's your idea of what sponsorship should be about, then you're wrong. And I mean no disrespect when I tell you this, but you're wrong. You know, you've gotten to the point in your career where you have decided that you wanted to compete. Well, if you've decided that you want to compete, then you need to show wherever system that you're competing for what you can bring to the table, not what other people are going to hand you. You have to be able to do it on your own, and you have to show your sponsors your own creativity. And keep whoever's sponsoring you for whatever pageant system that you happen to be competing for, keep them updated on what you're doing. Look, we're having a benefit on such and such a night, ba 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 ba. Or look, I just got my stones in. You know, keep them involved. Don't just take what they give you and run and forget about them. On the same token, sponsors. With the exception of that normal shit happens in life type situation, if you agree to sponsor somebody, then follow through with it. Keep your word. Stay in contact with the people that you're sponsoring. Let them know that you believe in them. Let them know that you're interested in how they're coming along. And be interested, because you're sponsoring them. So if you're sponsoring them for a reason. Don't say you're going to do something because it sounds good at the time and then not follow through. Not only is that unprofessional, but especially if it's an entertainer who's just competing for the first time, their ideas that are going to float in their head about sponsors after that is going to go right down the shitter. So if you agree to sponsor somebody, just be professional about it. Come through. Make sure that they come through with what's on their end, and everybody's happy. Now on to pageants. Competing, I will tell you, is the most stressful, mind-blowing experience of your life. Before you decide that you want to compete, there are a lot of systems out there. Do your research on the systems. Don't just pick one, because it's not about just the crown and the sash and the title. You're not, if you win it, after you win it, you have obligations, and you need to know, it's really good to know about the system. When they started, who's on the board, who their current title holders are, etc. and so on. So that's an important thing. Don't decide you want to do it just because you want to win it. You know what you're getting yourself into. Whether or not you're going to have to travel while you hold the title, because some people, their jobs and their family lives do not permit them to travel. So why are you going to do a pageant where you're going to be required to travel a lot, and you won't be able to fulfill your obligations? Then you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to get stripped. Especially with the national pageants and whatnot. Their national title holders are pretty much obligated to go from state to state for the prelims. If you can't do it, don't throw yourself in it. Know what you're getting into. If you're just starting and you want to test the waters, so to speak, the best pageants to do, get experience with the little bar pageants. Get experience with the pride titles, where the obligations are local. And get the experience first before you decide to jump into a state or a national. Because that's a whole nother ball game. A lot of the pageant systems have presentation, evening wear, or creative evening wear. There's a difference between the two. Talent, and some have Q&A, some don't. So I'm going to start at the very beginning. Interview. When you're going to an interview, you go to this interview like you were going to a job interview. If you live your life as a female and you're a girly foo-foo, go to the interview in female attire. You know, you can go either way. When you walk into the room, shake the hand of every single judge. Introduce yourself. Eye contact. Maintain eye contact. And you're gonna hear me say that a lot. Do not, under any circumstances, sit down until the judges invite you to do so. If you do it, they will take points off of it. You have to understand, not only are you, it's basically you're getting interviewed for a job. You know, you're getting interviewed for their title. So they're going to be watching you from the very, very beginning. So maintain your professionalism. Your attire, whether it be male or female, should fit right. It shouldn't be too tight. It shouldn't be too revealing. Don't go in there in jeans and a t-shirt. Bad business. Keep your answers short, to the point, and as honest as you could possibly make that happen. Don't babble. My very first state pageant, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he knows who he is, clocked me because I babbled. And it literally said on my score sheets, stop babbling. So I'm relaying the message to you. Don't babble. And that's kind of hard when you're nervous. But be conscious of what you're saying. Don't swear. When a judge asks you a question and you're answering it, maintain that eye contact with that judge. Don't be afraid to smile. Don't be afraid to show them the real person. But don't act like a ham either. Don't go in there cocky. Go in there confident, but not cocky. There's a huge difference between the two, and cocky is flat out ugly. When the interview is over, again, you stand up, you shake the hand of every single judge. Thank them. Maintain your eye contact. And leave the room. For presentation, different systems have different themes for their presentation. Make sure that your presentation fits that theme. A lot of times there's a speech attached to your presentation, which is my least favorite part. I don't like to be on the mic. I don't like feeling like I'm backed into a corner, and that's exactly how I feel. But I've got my speech nailed to where it's second nature. You can't read it off little cue cards. If you come out there with little cue cards, no. And you don't want your speech to sound rehearsed. Me personally, if there's a speech, whatever the theme for presentation is, I somehow manage to add the theme right in with the speech. Like for one year, it was my own creativity, and so my presentation was Latin. So in my speech, I would start out with Buenos noches, you know, ladies and gentlemen, and I would add a little Spanglish in there and just mix it up, keep them entertained. Do not make your speech any more than, I want to say, a minute to a minute and a half long. Some will tell you 2 minutes. Never go over 2. In your presentation speech, you want to introduce yourself. You want to tell them a little bit about yourself. You want to acknowledge your sponsors. And tell them why you're there and why you think that you deserve to earn their title. The whole thing shouldn't take any more than 2 minutes. It really shouldn't. Now the difference between creative evening wear and evening wear is regular formal wear is things that you would wear if you were going someplace formal. You know, a lot of entertainers go out and they get the tuxedos. When you're out there getting fitted for a tuxedo, and you're gonna have to get fitted, you can't just go to a store and buy a tuxedo or an outfit off the rack. When you're doing formal wear, it's a really good idea to go get fitted for it. Make sure that your pants go down to just hitting this part of the shoe. Shouldn't be any longer, and it shouldn't be way up here. The judges will clock you on it. Your sleeves to your jackets should go just above. It should just be hitting this knuckle. Make sure that your pants are not too tight. Make sure that there are no wrinkles. Trust and believe, they will notice them. And you will get clocked for it. No lint, which is why it's important to have a dresser, because a dresser could help you get ready and make sure that all those little things are not there. Make sure that your facial hair is applied correctly. There are no whiskers or anything like that. Some entertainers will wear shades during their formal wear. I'm one of them. But at some point in time, lower the shades so that you can look the judges in the face. I will tell you that the judges are looking for professionalism. They're looking at your talent. They are going to watch your lip sync. They're looking at your stage presence, your sense of professionalism. And they're all looking at it all at once. And I know it seems like a lot, and it is. But luckily it's just category by category, so you don't have to do it all at once. Be professional throughout. At all times, be professional. If it's creative evening wear, they want to see how creative you can be with your costuming. They want to see what you can bring to the table, and I don't have anything out right now that I can, but if you go to my pictures, actually some of my more creative stuff is on my Facebook page. You know, they want to see how creative that you can be with an outfit, something that you might wear on a red carpet, and they want to see what you can do with it. So it's all about you. It's all about self-expression, and this is your time to shine. But again, no matter what you do to the outfit, make sure that it fits right. If it's too big in the shoulders, they're gonna clock you on it. If the sleeves are too long, they're gonna clock you on it. If the pants are too long or too tight, they will clock you on it. They're kind of looking at you through a magnifying glass. So be aware of what you're doing at all times. Now for talent. Talent, there is usually a time restriction. Sometimes the talent would be 4 minutes, sometimes the talent will be 5 minutes, and sometimes the talent will go all the way up to 8. Personally, I think an 8-minute talent is too long. So I try to keep my talent anywhere between 5 and 6 minutes. They tell you straight out, no fire, no water, no excessive glitter, you know, things of that nature. Make sure that you're allowed to have other people in your talent if you plan on doing that. If you have backup dancers in your talent number, and I have seen this time and time and time again, if you have backup dancers in your talent number, make sure that you keep up with them. Never at any point in time do you want your backup dancers to outshine you. It's your job to keep the judges focused on what you're doing, not what your backup dancers are doing. Be creative. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. And try not to do a bar number, because there's a big difference between a bar number. You could be doing an amazing number at the bar and the audience will go absolutely batshit crazy. Well, take that and bring the levels up about 1,000% when you're competing. If you fuck up in the middle of it, don't get into a really big huff and then storm off the stage. Go with it and just keep going. Again, maintain eye contact with each judge, but don't stand in front of them and perform your number. I made that mistake one time. I was so nervous that I basically stood in front of the judges and performed my whole friggin' number. I forgot about the rest of the stage. I forgot about the people in the room. I forgot about everything but the judges that were sitting in front of me. I'll be damned if they didn't clock me on that. So they want to see you work a stage. They want to see what you're going to bring to the table if you decide, if you win and you become a part of their system. So they want to see how you work the stage, how you work the audience. They want to see how the audience is going to respond to you. They want to see that and keep them entertained. Don't just get up on the stage and walk back and forth, moving your hands and lip syncing. Make sure they can understand your lip sync. Don't put your hands over your face. Never turn your back to the judges at any point in time while you're lip syncing. If there's an instrumental break and you're doing some kind of dance routine or whatever that's going to cause you to have to put your back to them, that's fine. But the minute the lip sync starts, never, ever, ever put your back to the judges. Again, they will clock you on it. I'm having a brain fart, damn it. It's a lot to remember. If by some chance you don't win, don't kick yourself in the ass. And I know that that's kind of hard because I've done it. Chalk it up to a learning experience. Take the judges' sheets and study them. Learn what your weaknesses are. Learn what your strengths are. Build on those weaknesses. You know, the judges are going to give you little notes. And you can learn from them. I still have every set of score sheets from every competition I've ever done. And whenever I start, like I'm getting ready for Master Male Illusionist now, I have pulled out my score sheets from every pageant and every competition I've ever done and laid them out on the desk. And I study them. And I see where I have progressed and I see where I still need room. You know, never get so cocky that you think you know it all and the judges don't know what the hell they're talking about, and blah, 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 blah. Dude, they're not there to criticize you. They are there to critique you. And they are making those little comments and whatnot to try to help you progress to the next level. So don't get all that frustrated and all that angry. When you're doing your talent number, if it's a stage that has stairs, it's okay to implement the stairs in your number, but do not at any point in time let your feet touch the floor. In some systems, you can get disqualified for that. In other systems, they will take off mad points for it. So don't leave the stage at any point in time. You always maintain. Now, it's different if it's not a stage and your performance area is the dance floor. But if it is a stage and there's a set of stairs and the judges are sitting right there, it's going to be an automatic want for you to come down the stairs and get in front of the judges and just show them what you're made of. Don't come down off the stage. Work the stage for all it's worth while you're up there. Own it. But don't come down. When you're in the dressing room, make sure that you have a dresser that has all your stuff ready for your next number. Be professional at all times. A lot of national competitions are like a 3-day type thing. And just because you're not on the stage, don't think that the judges aren't paying attention to what you're doing. Again, you want to become part of their family. And it's up to the judges to figure out whether or not you're worthy of that. So if it's a 3-day competition, after the night of competing is over with, don't go out with all the other contestants and whatever and get blind-faced, shit-faced drunk and act a fool. Bad business. Bad business. You know, maintain your professionalism for the time that you get there. And I will tell you that I have learned over the years that when you have a title, especially when you have a title and you go from state to state and place to place, people get to know you. So even in your private life that has nothing to do with drag, you could be out somewhere wilding out with your friends and whatnot, and you may get recognized. So if you're out there and you're acting like a complete ass, even though you're not in drag and you're out with your friends, shit like that gets around. And it looks badly upon you. So maintain your professionalism at all time. Yes, it's a competition, but go out there and have fun with it. At the end of the day, if you can look in the mirror and tell yourself, I did the best that I know how to do, that I don't feel that there was anything that I could have done better, that's all that anybody can ask for. You know, as far as the judges, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did it all wrong. It just means that somebody did it somewhat better than you. You know, so don't automatically, if you get a bad review or whatever, don't automatically think that you're not worth it. I've had one judge, and I never forgot him. This judge is a national title holder and very well respected where he's from, and he was so brutal that he literally brought me to tears. He was unnecessarily brutal. And you may have an occasion to run into a judge like that. They're not all like that. Most of them really want to see you do better, and their critiques are very, very helpful. This one judge was actually flat out brutal. That's when you have to learn how to just shrug it off, take it from where it comes, and move on. Damn, I'm having another blonde moment. That's happening. It's old age. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's old age. Get to know, if you're just starting, get to know other people who have competed and get their 2 cents. You know, I've said it before in this business, if you ever get to the point where you think you know everything, it's time to quit. You can always learn from another entertainer. So get to know in conversations with other people who have, and not just one. Talk to a few. And then once you decide to do it, then just make sure that you have the means and everything else to be able to do what you do. And go for it. If you have any further questions that I haven't covered, you know how to find me. Just hit me up. And if you're contemplating on doing a competition, I wish you the best. If there's anything that I can do, I'm here. That being said, y'all have a good one.